What is going on, guys? We are back, episode 5, listed with Loomis. Sorry about the delay. Last week I kind of had a swollen eye, had a clogged duct, and it kind of looked like I had a black eye, so I held off on making this video. But thanks for tuning in. I'm excited to do another episode here. We are live in quarantine here in Huntersville, North Carolina. And one thing I did want to bring up this week, it's kind of real estate related, it's kind of not. Um, we kind of did this thing, and I'm sure you've seen on Facebook where everybody was posting their senior pictures in tribute to the class of 2020, because obviously, they're not going to be able to do their graduation. It was just kind of a thing of support with their class. And I actually posted my picture, which it's crazy to think that was 18 years ago that I graduated. And the one thing I kept thinking about was back in high school, the one number sticks in my head is 196. So I graduated from Union Endicott High School in Endicott, New York in 2002. And there was 287 students that graduated in my class, and I finished 196 out of 287. Now, what does that mean? That means I graduated with about a B average. I think it was about an 80 average. But the thing is that when I was in school, I studied. I didn't study as hard as I wanted to, or I should have. I paid attention in class, not as much as I should have. I just remember being so confused and awkward and, stuff going on that was out of my control. And it was just basically just trying to survive, just getting through the day, getting through the night, and just trying to make it through. So studying and academics was not the number one thing in my mind, because I always go back and say, man, I wish I studied harder. I wish I did more work. I wish I was in more clubs. And, growing up, I didn't really think like that. It was just like, I just need to get through the day. I just need to get through class. And, now I look back and I'm like, man, I wish I studied hard. But, the more that I think about it now, it's like, yeah, a lot of the stuff that happened was out of my control, and I won't go into details. But, I'm doing okay now. I mean, it took me a long time to figure out what I really want to do. When I went to college, I did pretty good, and I definitely should have studied more in college. I had a lot of fun in college, but I still finished with a 3.2. So, I did pretty well in college. And I guess the key thing is that a lot of kids put pressures on themselves to make sure that they're studying hard. If they don't do the best, they don't do great on tests. It's like, it's okay. You tried your best. That's okay. Obviously, when my son is born in July, I want to make sure he studies, he works hard out, but I want to make sure also, hey, what do you want to do for a living when it comes to that time? Is it a trade? Do you want to be a realtor like me? You don't necessarily, have to go to a 4-year school, spend a couple $100,000 on tuition to do what you want to do. But in fact, if it is something that you need to go to college for, study and work as hard as you can. But I also say that, be sure that you network. And they say, your network is your net worth. And I think that's just as important, getting your first job and where you go to school, is definitely important. But once you get older, who is just as important as what you know. And in certain career fields, that's, very, very important. So if there are any high school seniors watching this video, if you didn't do good in high school and, it's okay. Just keep moving on, work hard, figure out what you want to do, try some things, fail, pick yourself back up, and, just keep working hard and stay positive. And when it comes to real estate, if it's something you want to do, you don't need to have a personality that fits the mold. I had somebody ask me well, what does it take? What's the secret sauce of being a good realtor? Is it hard work? Is it, personality? And I always say that it's an easy and it's a tough business. It's easy and it's hard. It's hard because it's long hours, it's weekends. You're not getting a paycheck every other week. Sometimes you don't know when your next paycheck is coming, and it's very hard to want to get out of bed, do work, network, lead generate, which is the key to your business. But at the same time, it's an easy business because it's people business. You're dealing with people, you're connecting with people, Obviously having people skills is a strong trait to have, but you could still be successful whether you come from, teaching, accounting, sales. You could be successful in real estate if you put the work in, you work hard, you take care of your clients, and then eventually you take care of your clients, they're going to take care of you. So that's just my 2 cents on it. And, I definitely think that, being successful in life, there's a lot of different things that attributes to being successful, and it depends on what your definition of success is. So if you have any questions, be sure to hit me up below. And I just want to give a shout out to my buddy Jason, who his social media app Haya, which I'll have the description below, is doing great things. If you're in the need to for any type of social events, I recommend it. And thanks, guys, and stay safe out there during this quarantine, and we'll talk soon. Take care.